Pat Hill is the executive director of the African American Police League.
Good morning.
Pat, we love you.
Thank
We
you.
live. I'm excited. We're going to talk about Barack Obama.
I'm sure.
And no, we don't laugh, man. Calm down. We don't laugh, sir. Calm down, Fahim. We don't laugh. And we have Mr. Salim Muwakkil. Salim Muwakkil is the senior, and I have to remember, senior editor of In These Times magazine.
You say senior with so much emphasis, though.
Yeah, because last time you berated me when I forgot, I said editor, and I got the beat down when I just said editor. I had to say senior editor. And you're on the radio tonight.
Yeah.
Tonight and every night, Saturday night here in Chicago, and if you're on the internet too.
That's right.
World Wide Web.
Worldwide, man.
WVON Radio, WVON Radio here in the city of Chicago tonight at 7 p.m. And I listen every week when I'm at work.
Okay.
No, I am astounded, somewhat ecstatic, that Barack Obama is president of the United States of America. On the way in, I live on the South Side. Everybody's on the South Side. Everybody here's on the South Side. Fahim, you West Side, right? And so the point is that I went by Barack's house. President-elect Barack Obama's home in Hyde Park.
The house?
No, you can't. You know, you've been there. Because I drove with my children in August, and you just go by the house, no big deal. It's on 51st Street. Now it is, you know, it's worse than the White House. I've been to the White House and touched the gate of the White House. You can touch the gate of the White House. You can't touch the gate of Barack Obama's house. That's over with. So, but it's and I saw jets flying over, fighter jets the other day. It's the real. I mean, it's sunk in. He's president. I met the guy like 1995 at Cliff Kelly radio show. Cliff Kelly had a radio show on old WGCI, and I met him years ago, like 95. He was a nobody. He was a state senator. Most people in the city of Chicago don't even know who their state senator is. And now he's president. Are you shocked as me, Pat Hill?
Oh, I'm not shocked, no.
Let's talk about it.
I can recall having a very heated discussion on WBON in 2000, maybe 5, with on the Matt and Perry show. And I can remember vividly them saying, oh, no, he's too young. He needs to wait. And he needs to be trained. He needs to get experience. And all I'm saying is, and this doesn't have anything to do with whether or not I would prefer someone else, definitely not McCain. But the point is, I could see the track that he was on. And then, of course, being a political animal here in Chicago, you kind of look at who they surround themselves with. You look at the track record of people they surround themselves with. And I knew that at least he was going to go for it. And I knew once black people got the fever, you know, we did the PR. I mean, that's all that took. And then understanding how, prior to all of this, certain mechanisms were already put in place in terms of organization. And they did it very, very low key. But a lot of credit has to go to his organizers, because they did what they set out to do.
Salim Muwakkil, your assessment of the new president, and how he became president, Barack Obama.
Man, I was astounded, quite frankly, brother. I had no inkling that he would. First of all, I was among those who wanted him to be cool and wait a little while until he gets more seasoned. And then, you know, I thought that he was too moderate. He was hewing a too centrist course in his campaign. You know, I thought that he wasn't responding aggressively to the attacks.
I agree.
I thought he wasn't being as protective of his former supporters as he should have been. But, you know, his campaigners, his political people knew the calculus. They knew the political calculus. They knew how to orient him. And it was really, quite frankly, an amazing accomplishment for him to do that. And so I give all credit to them, to their knowledge, to their political acumen.
It is astounding. I mean, I'm just still amazed, because we live in Chicago, so we're not as mystified as you around the world, because we live here. Mm-hmm. We can go by the house in 10 minutes, you know, and whatnot. But with his presidency, you have to be a soothsayer now, Salim and Pat, will his presidency be as amazing as the campaign?
Well, you know, I don't think, I think he's basically, his policies really are just another iteration of what they call a Washington consensus. Mm-hmm. Both his international policies, you know, you can tell the way he talks about, you know, going into Pakistan and blah, blah, blah. The same kind of bellicose militarism. So I don't really expect that much, although the international situation may compel him to be more bold in his approaches, like, you know, economic stimulus everybody's talking about right now. This may allow Barack, with all of this Democratic support in the Congress, to take some really bold economic steps, you know, like a New Deal kind of thing, which may have a very, very positive effect on our community. So this may be a rare opportunity to do something serious.
I think it is. I mean, if the opportunity is taken, you know, taken advantage of. Now this is where
we come in.
I'm very cautious in terms of what his legacy is going to be, because I have to view this from a perspective of an African American and what our role is, what we have to gain, even though the whole message was not to make a distinction between anybody, because we're all Americans. Well, I haven't, you know, drank that Kool-Aid yet. I know that we're not. And I know that the president can help to set a tone, but the president cannot change 500 years of indoctrination and policies and things. It can begin to set some things in place. But I think the power is in the fact that, be it legitimate or not, people are so inspired. And when the people are inspired and they begin to have aspirations again, they can move.
Right.
Now the question becomes, are they going to, you know, just hold on to that and let him say, okay, green light, red light, green light? Or are they going to take some matters into their own hands to push that agenda? And so I'm hoping that we would. I also have to say something that may be kind of controversial. You know, I don't do that much, but in researching prior to the, I was going to say the Olympics, that's on my mind, prior to the presidency, we were doing some things about, you know, the historical backdrop to the presidents. And so, of course, I fell on J.A. Rogers' book again, which cites 5 Negro presidents. Then I went further and looked into a book written by a Dr. Leroy Vaughn. And it substantiates even further that based on history, their history, because we weren't right.